We've talked about choosing pots and where to place them. So now let's get to the really fun part. Maria's going to show us 3 unusual plants and 3 tried and true plants that are great for container gardens and how to use them effectively.
Yes, I am. Okay, so she made me narrow it down to 3 unusual plants. We have a climbing hydrangea here for you today, Crocia contoniaster, and a calicacia elephant ear. For interesting plants for your center pots, just to add interest, we have sun things and shade lovers.
I love that. Excellent choices. So show us how you use each of these things and what they bring to a container composition.
Okay, so we have the climbing hydrangea, which is lovely. It can handle part sun, shade, thrives more in the shady areas. It has variegated leaves. This one is a standard leaf, but it also has a very strong vining backbone. So it's gonna add interest when it loses its leaves throughout the season. So that's a really great one for those types of spaces that you have. Next, we have the Crocia contoniaster, and it is quite of a prehistoric looking plant, right? It's got really cool shape to it. They do get large. They can get 6 to 8 feet tall and wide, but it can handle pruning. And it just has lots of interesting movement and structure to it. So it's a really fun one for containers.
Love it.
Then we have the calicacia elephant ear, and we have a small one kind of tucked right here in this container. It likes sun. It does not like to be in boggy water, and it will just kind of grow and open up and be really cool. There's so many different calicacias out there, so they're a really fun one to look for.
I love that. Great choices. Now for the reliable go-to tried and true.
So those 3 that I really like to use are Japanese maples. They're easy to maintain. They're adaptable in most Northwest gardens. They do require a larger container. So you're either gonna find a smaller specimen that you can start in a smaller container, or definitely get the right size container for the right size pot. Also, they do really well with root pruning and changing out the soil every couple of years. So they thrive really well in a container. Then I also like to suggest the heuchera. They are an evergreen plant that likes to live in shady conditions. The darker foliage leafed ones can handle a little bit more sun, and they're evergreen, so they're really great. They kind of spill out the sides of containers. They have these lovely little fairy flowers on them.
Yeah, the bees love the flowers.
Yeah, so fun. Then I really like to always suggest for summer sunning containers is petunias. They are adaptable to the hottest conditions that you can give it, lots of sunlight, and they can handle the rain that we periodically have throughout the summer months. They also are slightly fragrant, so they're fun to stick your nose in.
We can smell them right now.
Right?
So that's your favorite annual?
That's one of my favorite annuals. Yeah, it just goes and goes and goes. And they also love the summer heat, so they just bloom and bloom and bloom. They're kind of go-to favorites.
Is exposure, soil type, how are you combining these things? That's so important.
It is really important, and that's one thing you really have to look at. You cannot plant things that are shade and sun. They're just not compatible, I'm sorry. You cannot put a astilbe with succulents. They just require different soil, they require different light exposure, and one likes cool, dark, damp soil.
The astilbe?
No, yes, the astilbe. Not boggy, but definitely moist.
Yeah.
And then we have these succulents here that prefer dry, fast-draining, sandy soil.
Lots of sun.
Lots of sun. You can't give it enough sun. So don't mix those together. So when you're planting, kind of pay attention to those types of things and the conditions of the plants, so that way your container can thrive in its best setting.
Great tip. So, bonus plant.
Ooh.
Plant that's both reliable and unusual. What are you gonna tell us?
My bonus plant, my go-to one. Okay, I'm gonna have to say it's a fern. We live in the Pacific Northwest, and I love me a fern. We can have deciduous ferns, we can have evergreen ferns, there's giant ferns, there's small ferns, there's purple ferns, there's green ferns, there's so many things. And since everybody has a shady spot in their yard,
it's true.
A fern will look good in a beautiful container. Like right here, we have one mixed with a begonia and a hosta, and it's got a little purple leaf in it.
Well, I love your ideas. I know our planted viewers are going to love your plant choices as well. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. I encourage everyone to find their own little pocket of beauty in their yard and plant up something lovely that they enjoy. And if you need any help, I'm here for you.
I love that. And so besides Valley Nursery, one of our favorite places to find great container plant ideas is the Great Plant Picks website.
Oh, definitely. It's a great one.
And links for this episode are posted in the video description.